Life is about moments, and I just had an amazing one. I stopped back there and was putting up my tripod to take photos or a video of me hugging trees. I was trying to position the camera so that I would be able to just do it in one shot. I just wanted to have one video. So I don't even know where this man popped up from, to be honest, because I guess because I was so focused, I didn't see him. All I know is that he's on a bicycle and he stopped right in front of the park bench that I was setting shop up at. So I ran to a tree, and I guess when I got back is when he showed up. Hello. And he said, I can do that for you, And I just laughed because I thought he was joking because, that's how we do. We like to joke. And I was like, no, it's okay. Because, that's how we do. It was like, no, it's okay. And I said, I have my clicker. I showed him that I had my clicker to take the photo. And, I was just trying to position the camera. So he was like, yeah, but, all what you're doing there right now, this is how he was talking. I could have done it, and you would have been on your way. Nobody don't have to know. And, he was talking about pride and stuff. Now, there's an airplane and it's loud. Now, it had nothing to do with pride and everything to do with, me just, acting like I have nothing better to do today and just enjoying some extra time in nature. It is now almost noon. I haven't had not even a sip of water today. But I'm just taking it easy. Anyway, I told him, I said, I was positioning my camera so that I can hug trees. And he looked at me and I said, I know it's weird. And he said, no, I actually wrote a story about that. And I thought he was joking because you know how we do. And he told me the premise of the story and all of that. So I was like, okay, because he went on to tell me that he wrote a story for the Parks Department, and told me what the story was about. The story was about a little girl who had a complicated name, and when she was in school, elementary school, the children never used to speak to her because they couldn't pronounce her name, and I guess they felt awkward or whatever have you. And so that was her thing. So apparently she used to go to the park and she used to sit among two different trees. So one day someone who works at the park went to her and said to her, there are benches in the park. Why do you always choose to sit on the ground by the tree? And she's explained that the tree offers so much. Cause, and I preface it by telling him that I like to, basically just go to the park, enjoy nature, hug trees every so often, walk around my backyard barefoot. And so that's how he ended up telling me the story that he wrote. He said it's about a page and a half, nothing longer. So he's basically doing a collection of stories. And by the time he finished, I was like, all right, I guess you're going to have to just do this then, because he understood, he understood the assignment. And so we just spoke for a little bit longer after. He did 3 separate videos, which I'll share. And then he was letting me know that he's a life coach for men, and, an experience that he had yesterday with a gentleman. And I'm grateful for life, because one of the things that I said to him is that I'm happy that I have basically gotten to a point where I have slowed down enough to enjoy nature. So I'm with the geese now, right? So they came up, and I think it's because they're so accustomed to people feeding them, because that was another part of what we spoke about, was that, I like to come and sit by the tree, by this tree, and just talk to the birds and the birds, and also
time 1 hour 54 minutes, 49 seconds. Total distance, 6.0 miles. Split pace, 25 minutes, 15 seconds per mile.
I forgot to pause it, but it's fine. Actually, let me just head home because I'm starting to get hungry now that I mentioned it. So, I was saying to him that I don't really care for when I see people feeding the wildlife because, God made it so that they're able to fend for themselves. And there will come a point in time when, because just now when they came up, I was like, I ain't got no food. It's basically what I was thinking. Because the reality of it is, when the animals grow accustomed to the taste of what we give them, like what we eat, they're going to want that. And if I'm hoping that the day won't come when I come to the park and they're chasing me because they want food. Because I'll be like, I never give you nothing. Because the reality of it is, like, there is fish in that water and all sorts of other things that nature provides for them. But anyway, it was such a beautiful moment for me to, one, have this conversation, because I was really and truly ready to just pack up my stuff and go when he appeared. He, towards the end of the conversation, he explained that he's a talker. He likes to talk to people. And, one thing I'm grateful for was that it was not small talk and that it was a good conversation about the journey of life. A good conversation about nature, and how, because I told him, I said, I just feel like we're supposed to be one with nature, and we are. I feel like we're supposed to be able to coexist in a very healthy way, basically leaving them to basically live their life the way that they're supposed to while we do the same. But I just wanted to share that that was a true wonderful experience for me. One that would not have happened before, because honestly, first of all, if I saw him coming, I probably would have just taken my things up and leave. So I'm glad that God did it in such a way that I did not see him, and that I wouldn't say forced, but I chose to engage in conversation. Sometimes it is good to have conversation with, especially older people, because they've been around for a little bit longer, and so they have some tips to share. And I'm grateful. He told me to go and check out a book called The Story of the Butterfly. I think that's what it was. I wrote it down in my notes. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. But anyway, it is Labor Day and I'm here excited. And I'm wishing you a wonderful, safe day.